As the great Craig Coney says, we are live, Mike. Take it away.
What is this? We don't get a theme song?
No theme song. Welcome to the show.
This is bullshit. You know, what annoys me about this is that I sat through Menors using this phrase several times, and we all had a good laugh at Kevin from Bristol years ago. It was all fun and games to laugh at how ridiculous it was that Kevin from Bristol was like, I really just want to go into the Hall of Fame with my guys. I want to be up there on that stage. But Menors has used the phrase pass the baton and ceremonial farewell with me several times, and it's really bugged me.
Why?
Because you've taken to the role of program director so quickly. You're a very corporate guy now since you've gotten this network.
Not at all. You're the one that just dumped the show one day. No, you just do one show and then walk away from it. I mean,
there he is. He's back, baby. He's fired.
I'm resuscitating your career, and I'm letting you go because I know you had to ask Carl permission to come on tonight. So I didn't want to put too much pressure on you.
Thank you. I'm glad Mike is writing the jokes.
Mike, you are also forgetting that it was Menors who had the idea for you to do shows about comedy. So you actually owe your whole Patreon to Menors. You forget
right,
that.
Menors?
Yes.
I'm sure you did that at one time.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, yeah.
You two. This is where Visionless. By the way, folks, Visionless Dave and Menors are with me, as well as Montante, Madawaska Rob.
El Salvador's missed the penalty.
Some other fellow that seems awfully happy to be here will be reading the comments. Apparently, Pat, is that the other guy's name?
That's right, Pat Namesbury,
One
of the hosts of the 420 show that will be coming to the network.
But I knew it's funny. Visionless Dave mentions that because I knew I was in like a rough place mentally, and that's when I started reevaluating my life. When I got to a point where I almost looked at VD and Menors as like guardian angels of some kind. Like they were giving me advice about my career, and I was like, "All right, something needs to change. I need."
You're almost kind of a pussy for not. You're almost kind of a pussy for not killing yourself.
You should listen to my advice, Mike. You should absolutely do the opposite. I'll give you my phone number, and you can call me anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Menors.
Always there.
Well, it's good. It's good to be here, everybody. And I don't know if Menors was one of the people that criticized me for having too many voices on Mike and the Minifans back in the day. But he has decided to jam-pack the room with people. So we've got a lot of voices here. So that should make for a fun conversation. But I feel, should we get right into show topics? Because I do have one I want to discuss with you guys.
Yeah, just before we do that, I just want to talk to the audience quickly that, this is Mike's last show of Mike and the Minifans. Hopefully he'll come back sometime. Hopefully he can squeeze it in all his shows, the Quincy night and all this stuff. But, after this show, the hosting role will be shared. So Madawaska Rob will be hosting some. Mike Montante will be hosting about one a month. Got a couple of other people in the works. So Rob and Mike, just make sure you're looking at the professional hosting job Blind Mike is doing tonight and take a few notes because you're going to be expected to live up to this standard for moving forward.
Yeah.
You absolutely strong-armed me into this, by the way, and shame on me for just folding to you.
Well, you didn't want to be here?
No, I was like, I have 3 other shows. Like, I don't want to, do something half-assed and not be there for you.
This guy, too many shows.
Just once a month, and I was like, all right, I'll do it. I'm in.
Yeah, Montante's content schedule is a nightmare. So thank you for fitting us in on this Monday night, Montante.
Yeah, I could squeeze it in. No problem, boys.
That's sweet of you. Thank you. He's on KMS now. He's on the main show, as Menors calls it. So he's doing the thing where he'll where he's gambling on his phone.
Oh yeah, he's in 6 months. He's gonna be Clemmer 2.0. We're all gonna hate the guy.
Jesus. Yeah. No, I have too much integrity to ever be Clemmer.
I said
he did direct me to his agent first.
I can see when you make the leap and turn your back on the show. I'll say that makes more sense than when Clemmer.
Thank you in a way. The thing I can't do that Clemmer does is everyone likes Clemmer. I would naturally turn people off. People would, and I mean well, but I rub some people the wrong way. So
you think everyone likes Clemmer?
For the most part, I mean, from what I see, if you watch like anything Barca related, Clemmer seems like Mr. Barca. People love him.
I don't know if they love him. I don't know if they love him or they just love to make fun of him. Like he's just there as like a punch.
Well, like Nick and Kate, everyone on the Yak seems like he's like their little toy. They love him, which
I get what you're saying. You mean there? Because when he was on the show,
not
for a while, people hated him.
Oh yeah, no. The KMS fans are a totally different animal, but you know, what I'm saying for the most part, people at Barstool seem to like him for whatever reason. So whatever, good for him.
So the thing that I wanted to get right into, I wanted to ask you guys specifically as diehard fans of the show. There was a Twitter handle at Kathy Cullinane. No numbers, no underscores, anything. How did no one find this until Saturday?
Bizarre. I stared at it for like 10 minutes being like, how is this real? Like I was looking at the dates and I was like, this can't
the morning
be fake.
of 9/11.
Yeah, but I was like, I was speechless. I almost wept, but I'm not buying his whole story of that it was a joke. And you can tell by his reaction, which was to instantly delete it, which I think Kirk let him go a little too easy for that. I guess it's because of the picture or whatever, but I could imagine if something similar had happened in the early days of the show with Steve Robinson and he had deleted that, it would have been issues. But yeah, I'm not buying his explanation of it at all.
Well, I can get the instant deleting thing just because I would also panic about like personal information.
Yeah,
so I could. That's why I thought, I could see myself doing that. Where instantly I panic and then I'm like, fuck.
That's not why he deleted. That was the most embarrassing thing that I've ever seen in my life. And I'm talking
the tweets
about
were rough.
me, my sophomore year, not here in the garage open. My mother walking in me when I'm on my knees, doing. Yeah, I mean, I've done some embarrassing things. That's way worse. That Twitter account was pathetic.
Did you just say you were sucking dick in a garage? Did I?
No.
No, couldn't he because of the fucking traffic, you idiot. You're in your car.
I heard him say he was on his knees in the garage.
Yeah. I think that's natural. I'd rather be on my knees doing that than standing up for 10 minutes.
Yeah. You want to be.
I'll stand by that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So that was the most embarrassing moment of my life. But listening to that was like super awkward. There's no reason why he did it. It's super strange. I didn't realize Cullinane was that weird. But you have to delete that. You can't leave that up. And you have the out there with the family photo, so he lucked out.
I probably should have mentioned this yesterday. The other thing that made me think it wasn't just for the family, he's hashtagging everything, which that's a route, especially in 2013. That's a route you took to be like, I want people to notice,
get attention.
You know? Yeah.
Oh yeah, hashtags were powerful back then. Very powerful.
Yeah. Menders and Rob, what did you guys think? Any thoughts on that whole scenario?
I mean, it's Cullinane. It's so hard to wrap my head around anything he does. I think he had a few too many drinks one night and started it, and then it just like snowballed from there. And then there's just nothing you can do. Like the comments going back, it's just like he's having conversations about himself, like with himself, and then like he's describing scenes that are happening. It's just it's Cullinane. It's a whole different level that he brings to the fucking show because he's just so fucking crazy.
I want to know what he thought he might have said when he was blacked out 10 years ago that he was so concerned about. He seemed very honestly concerned. It seem like a gimmick or anything. Like was he
there weren't that many tweets from that account though, if I remember correctly. I think I went through them all. There was only maybe 50 or 60 tweets, so it was there was nothing bad on there. It would have been out, but how
long did it last? Was it like a weekend, a week? Like was it like a month?
You brought it back after a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
much like this. It was exactly like this show. Everyone's been begging for it, and so we brought it back.
Yeah. I agree that the alarming thing was how quickly he was able to remember like the login details, because I mean, it was 10 years ago. To be able just to log into an account from 10 years ago that quickly, that's also a little bit alarming.
He only has one password for everything, like forever.
Oh,
Like password does if you remembered it, which is a little concerning. Dave, change your password right now.
Yeah. Did you guys have any good goofs with your mom growing up? I had a good goof.
I'll sit this one out. Go ahead.
What was that, Vede?
You remember when ringback tones became a thing?
Sure.
So my mother didn't know about them or how to change them. So me and my younger brother, we made her ringback tone the "It's Britney Bitch" song, and it was that for like a good 2 years before anyone had like the audacity to mention it to her. Like, why is your ringback tone Britney Spears saying "It's Britney Bitch"? There's probably some more goofs I could think of, but that was one that stood out to me.
But I can understand, and it's not consuming your whole life. Whereas tweeting 50 or 60 times is a lot to think about this one joke, quote unquote.
To nobody.
To nobody.
Yeah.
Right. to the ether.
But the thing is, he was so embarrassed about it on the show. Like Dave is all about image, and you can tell he was just dying. He was of embarrassment. He says so many stupid things on the show, but this one really got him. And I am mortified that it was taken down so quickly. No one could really do a deep dive into that Twitter account, because I'm sure there are some wild tweets in there.
Everything's archived if you need to take a look. Not by me, but
Yeah,
really?
they would have found the most embarrassing. I will say it's become like Trump's Truth Social account now, where I can't make heads or tails of which ones are real because everyone's making fake screenshots. It's become a story of its own now. But
true.
But yeah, something would be out there. But I do have to say, like you said, Dave's worried about his image or whatever. He takes shit a lot better than like me. Like I would have curled up and been terrified of that being out there. I think he takes shit the best of any other me, Steve.
Yeah, well, you never would have done that in the first place, though. So I don't think you have to worry about that.
No, but I mean, I've done plenty of embarrassing shit that could be made
and a lot worse to his mum, that's for sure.
That's right.
Boom.
Another thing I wanted to talk about is the third chair, or what they call it when they say third chair. Do they mean my chair or
when you're not in
with me?
When you're not in.
Okay, all right. Montante is someone that's in that seat. I don't know how you feel about it, but how have you guys felt about the Friday guests? Who are your favorites? Who are your least favorites?
All right.
I could do without Montante, to be honest.
Yeah, of course.
I think the bits plus his content schedule is so crazy right now. This guy needs a vacation.
Does he have time for the show? Even you know?
Yeah. Does he even have time?
I mean, you can tell he's doing it kind of as a favor to Kirk when he's in there. He's like, I got so many other things going on.
Exactly. I like the guy. It was mentioned on today or yesterday's show. The guy that was in with yellow shirt guy, the guy that looks like Mac from Always Sunny. I like that guy.
Yeah.
Was it Nick? His name was his name Nick or something?
I think so. I think
he's like a more talented Madawaska Rob. Like he's a real Boston guy.
He's a Portuguese kid.
Entertaining. He can shit talk.
Yep.
All right, so the leader in the clubhouse is a guy whose name we aren't quite sure of.
He's Portuguese and he cuts glass. That I do know. I mean, I was gonna say it's to get a reaction. I like Julie. I think Julie's great manners. I think Julie's a stud.
Julie
has had the sharpest drop off of any third chair in the history of KMS. And
are we gonna pretend like Manners didn't go in there and turtle up his one time? Are we gonna just toss that to the side?
Actually, Mike. I wasn't invited in. We stormed the thing.
Zero
preparation, and as I've said many times, Kirk and Mike, they just bowed down before me and said, "You do your show in here." So I get off scot free. Mike, if I could go in every Thursday or Friday, I wouldn't go in there with Julie with nothing to say. Like Kirk's like, "What have you got?" And she's like, "I don't know." Like she barely listened to the last show. I mean, she's a lovely woman. She's really fun. Like she'd be good to go out and have like 50 drinks with. But like there's nothing there now. There's nothing there. Like she just sat there. And the fact is, she's been in with some drips, so she's actually been able to sort of scoot around it because there's someone worse there. So.
See, the thing about Julie is we found the one woman on the internet that Manners isn't like incredibly over horny for, like any other woman in the middle. It's like a miracle. She's like a diamond in the rough.
Dave, don't let him fool you. He's thinking about it all the time. I guess not.
No worries.
Was it you, Manners, that called?
Back. It'd be the back of her leg. I wouldn't be able to get on her back. It'd just be like her ankles. There'd just be semen running down her ankles, and she'd be like, "Oh my
Lord, God, that's so graphic." All right, can we go to the next? All right, listener questions. Good God, that was disgusting.
Is this what the network is going to turn into? Just smut?
I hope we get banned. COVID
Shock jock Manners is taking over. Was it you, Manners, that called her a cunt, or was it someone on your show?
Manners 10 times.
I think because she big time me. Like I asked her on Minifandom, and Minifandom is a show for the Minifans. It's the way to get to know the community.
It's an extension of the show itself.
Yeah, we've heard you say it 1,000 times.
And it's like the fourth KMS show a week. And I asked her on, and she just big timed me. It wasn't maybe another time, or I'm busy at work, or whatever. It was just, I'm too good for you. And, that attitude won't cut it for me.
Well Mutt did the same thing.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Mutt is actually like a professional radio broadcaster.
No, he's not.
You know,
Well,
he was.
He's the least professional person to be in there the last 2 months. Guy's collecting government handouts. What I liked about Julie,
it's
which
hilarious.
changed-
Mutt's name hasn't come up until now in this conversation. I just realized that.
yeah, he goes in there once in a while. I don't like that Julie said that she didn't go on your show because she didn't want Kirk to. I just was like, yeah, I didn't go on the show because I like Menners. That would have been fine. When she, kind of admitted she didn't go on because she was fear of retaliation from Kirk, I was like, oh, that was a terrible answer in my opinion. But whatever. I still laughed that she didn't go on.
I can understand that though.
That's how you keep getting invited back. Yeah, that's how you keep getting invited back.
Yeah, Blind Mike has politely declined maybe 10 invitations from Minifandom.
Have I?
Or maybe a couple.
I'll do it anytime you like, Menners.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, you lowered your standards and came on Montante's World once. That was a good time.
Yeah, see, I'll do anything, Menners.
Yeah, quite literally anything.
Who is someone that hasn't been in that role that you fellows would like to see get a shot? Because I have one. I mean, he's been involved with KMS, but I would like to see J-Rock start getting thrown in maybe once a
fuck
month.
off. Honestly, fuck you. You're
What?
such an idiot. No, you and this J-Love is pathetic. He's not funny.
No.
He's so
J-Rock.
unamused.
Justin.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Jesus.
I was triggered by that too, Benders, because I thought the same thing you did.
J-Rock. Do you guys
J-Rock.
even listen to the show?
Okay, you bring
I
up
listen-
references from 2 years ago, buddy. Come on.
Well, I think that'd be great. I just don't know if Justin wants to do that because he seems happy.
He seems happy. Yeah.
He seems happy not being involved in content. So I don't know what his situation is there, but like the time, like when he produced and when he came in for the Jon Stewart thing, like he was good. He was funny. He's himself. He's laid back. So I would like that.
Me too.
I
Me too.
I guess, Mike, then this is a good point for me to ask you this, but, and this could be sort of something that's moved across to Justin. How is it that you've sort of worked through everything now where you're at a point you can go in there with Kirk and nothing bothers you? Whatever he says, you just laugh about it. Sometimes he'll try and turn the blowtorch on you and you just don't let it in. You just have a bit of a giggle. And I think if Justin could get to that point, because Kirk's not going to change. He's always going to give shit to people and make fun of people. Like, how is it that you're now in this spot where you're very comfortable?
Well, I think if Kirk wanted to get to me, he'd have no problem doing it. I think he's very good at that. But I'm better at it. Just because of therapy and medication that I was on for a long time and shit like that. Like I just worked on it, which I don't know. I know Justin is on some of the same medication I was taking, but I don't know if he's in therapy or anything.
Not on
like that.
Ozempic, I'll tell you that.
That I can't confirm that. I don't know. I'll ask him Thursday. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, for me, therapy was a big thing. BetterHelp, promo code Kirk 10. But that's honestly what it was for me, and not taking Twitter and feedback so seriously. Like I kind of had to tell myself, I don't want to make this a therapy thing, but I had to tell myself that like reading a comment from Menners, even if he's right, when I turn my phone off, it doesn't affect my day.
You were really in your therapy sessions talking about what these morons were saying on Twitter?
Oh, for sure. I mean, among other things, but yeah, that definitely came up without a doubt.
Jeez, that's
Yeah. You forgot to.
It goes into like how I thought of myself too. It was just an extension of all that.
Okay, it was just a stepping stone to get there. Okay.
You forgot to mention how valuable me and Montante's advice was in your development to getting to this point, Mike. You forgot to mention that.
VD and Menners. I don't think Montante's ever
given
advice to anyone.
Menners.
I'll take it. He's cared about another human being.
Not far off.
But yeah, no, Justin's definitely a good one. Are there any other names you guys wanted to see? And being honest, I know it's funny to bust Mutt's balls, but what do you guys like having Mutt back in the?
Oh, I love having him on the show. I never knew him from the radio days. I'd always just been hearing about him for years and years and years.
Sure.
But I think he's great on the show. But I liked Reamer on the show too. So I don't know. But I like Mutt.
That was tough. Reamer got ironically shafted. He was very good on the show.
I was surprised. So Kirk said he was kind of like tight or tense. I forget the exact how he described it.
I know Tutty's at the last weekend. Yeah, no, I didn't feel that way.
He said he was very like locked up. I thought he seemed looser than ever and funnier than I remember him being on the radio. I think Kirk maybe wanted to do a little more shitting on Entercom with him, like having Mutt and Reamer there. That would have been fun. So that it seemed like Reamer wasn't willing to do. But other than that, he seemed like he was into the show.
I think once he kind of alluded to that he doesn't listen to every show and doesn't know all the small details, Kirk's brain just turned off and he's just out on him.
Yeah, because that's something he general with any suggested guest. He's like, the guy doesn't listen to the show. Wouldn't be.
Yeah. Good. Here's Adam Weitzman. Who?
I also
10
think
10 billion followers. No interest. Doesn't listen to the show.
Oh, is that
Give
your
me
guy?
Yellow Shirt guy? Oh yeah. Don't play coy. Come on, you know that.
Kirk used to be able to poke Reamer and get a lot of reaction out of him, and he couldn't quite elicit that. Reamer's matured, a little bit calmer, so Kirk poking him didn't quite have the same reaction as when
I think
he was
really
EEI.
trying too much on that episode, though. It didn't seem.
No,
like he was trying to...
I was surprised his reaction after the episode. I thought like he enjoyed Reamer because he didn't give off during the show that he was kind of out on him. So that was a little surprising, but who knows? You know how this world is. I think Reamer will be back.
Yeah, well, Kirk likes to play a little bit hard to get to, where he's like, oh, I don't like this guy. This guy hates me. So maybe there's a little bit of that involved in there too. But I would like to hear him. I want an update from whatever the hell is happening this weekend. I would love to hear an update.
I think we can all imagine. I love the update,
and we all have.
Yeah. Yeah.
There'll be a lot of semen running down his ankles, that's for sure.
Focus on that one specific
It's
image.
not better any second. Yeah.
I think Metters might have a foot fetish. I think we figured that out today.
Ankles.
I'd like to see Daver on there. You don't think Daver deserves a shot at the third chair?
No,
I tried to
definitely
make
not.
the pitch on a couple Montante's world.
Definitely not.
To get Chubby Bumpkins to Watertown. I think he'd be a great fit.
Chubby Pumpkins. You're such a dick.
He won't do it. He's like, oh, I've done it already. He's like, not really. You went on for 2 minutes. I think Dave would be good.
Yeah.
I'm all set. I think we're done with Dave.
The name mistakenly came up a couple minutes ago. VD, you're friends with this guy, Jay, that calls, right?
I am friends with Jay. Yes.
Okay.
Jay is
Lovers.
yeah.
Can you explain him to me? Because he would message me years ago, and I didn't understand what he meant, and I would tell him that I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, and he'd be like, oh, playing dumb, and I'm like,
so
Jay
forgets that we can't hear his thoughts, so he'll just think something and then message you about it, and you have absolutely no context on what he's talking about, but he has a hard time understanding it. But Jay, he's harmless. He gets very angry and worked up, but he's harmless. I would love for him to go into KMS, but he shrinks in big moments. Like whenever the light shines on him, he kind of resorts back to just doing that like fake angry thing. That's kind of his safety blanket. But yeah, Jay's great. I love Jay.
What would your pitch be for him going in though? Because it seems to me like it would be just incoherent.
And before VD speaks, he has thought about this. So go ahead.
I have thought of it.
Please.
I like Jay. He self-describes himself as the mayhem, so it would be mayhem. I don't know how it would go. I would prefer.
How it would go.
I would prefer Kirk to do a show from his bedroom because his bedroom is an amazing little studio setup there. That would be more interesting to me. But in studio, he'd be great. Yeah, I can't really sell it. I can't really sell it.
How much? And I'm sure you looked at it. How much is the Uber from Lynn to Watertown?
Jay's pretty mobile. That's a good thing about Jay is he's all over the city. He's outside Cullinane's window. He's in Maine. He's in Mississippi. He ends up wherever he needs to be. Him and Elvis. I would like him to go into studio with Elvis, his black friend, who kind of keeps him in check.
Is that the most ironic name? Anyway, yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like I think if Kirk had any lunatic on his hands in that chair, it would be a great episode. I just don't know how fun it would be.
No, it would. Like 10 people would enjoy listening to it, and nobody else would. But Kirk, Kirk likes those episodes. Usually, he does usually like those episodes. Guy? Yeah, it would just devolve into a discussion about like how cancer isn't real and it's all about gut health and like these. Yes, he gets very zeroed in on these things, but I'd listen.
Is there any? You mentioned Yellow Shirt Guy. I know it was a while ago, but is there any more you guys have on? Has he just disappeared, or like what's his deal now?
This is my favorite thing. So Sneakers and all of them, they used to obsessively tweet about this guy, Ryan. We've seen it. It would just be on the timeline 24/7. Poor Ryan got shafted for like over a year and a half. Ryan was the scapegoat. This guy, yellow shirt guy, was the one shit talking, posting pictures of people's families and stuff, hiding behind this poor Ryan guy as he's getting bombarded online. It was the yellow shirt guy the whole time, from my understanding. Yeah. So this guy really was just an absolute.
So he
scumbag.
he messaged me. I'm so glad I stopped myself from responding because I was like, why am I going to get into it with this guy? But he messaged me and he's just like, I don't understand why everyone thinks I hate the show. And it seemed like he was genuinely hurt by it.
Yeah.
So if he was actually doing that shit, that's like psychotic.
Yeah, he's a bad hombre. He also used to be on the account called CK Landscaper where he was doing some weird stuff. He's had a bunch of it. Yeah, he's had a bunch of weird accounts.
Don't you think Cullinane got off scot-free after the yellow shirt guy, Ziggy Robinson, the sting job where he sent in to Cullinane, it's Michael Padini, I'd love to come on the show. And Cullinane gives him a date. I mean, I don't Montante defending Cullinane here.
I'll defend him easily.
Cullinane should have Googled the name before saying, here's the date, come in.
I've been in 5 or 6 times. They need people to go in, okay? That's proof enough. So as long as you have somewhat of a working pulse, go in there. It's fine.
With a gun, if you're a madman, like
all right, well, that's a chance you take. You hope that, liberal Massachusetts has good gun laws.
Fucking idiot. You want Kirk to get shot by some psychopath or
Kirk doesn't kill himself. He's not worried about someone killing him. He's living life free, baby. No, you're just looking for a warm body to fill that seat.
Why? Bullshit. I think we can do better than a warm body.
I don't think we can.
I like Birdman. Birdman is really good. Birdman was really good.
Perfect warm body, but zero personality, nice guy. There's a few of those. We don't need Michael Madman Padini. How can Cullinane be so negligent? Like you just put in a name in Google and it comes up and you're like, okay, I'm out. Like it's not that
common name.
What do you fellas think about the Cullinane's idea to kind of do
BD for a second? I just want to, Mike. You realize this was a sting by Ziggy, so he gave him a name that was easily searchable.
Yeah, I'm in on it. Thank you. I fucking get it.
Then why are you defending him?
Because that shows how low.
Okay, great. Okay, good. So, all right.
And we just saw someone comment, Manners. No. Talk about coming on a leg again, you pervert. I just saw the comment from the best potential guest who has been in there. Kevin from Bristol, got to get in there.
Oh, he's got to get in there.
I suspect it won't happen.
Yeah,
somebody tells me it won't,
particularly because you guys keep saying, "Oh, Kevin from Bristol should be in." That's a death wish. I mean, death.
He wasn't getting in anyway, so you might as well, bring a little attention to the cause.
I was begging for Mayo. Mayo finally got in there.
Thanks for begging.
We were all begging.
Appreciate you. Go back to that talking. God damn it, that's terrible.
I do not think Mayo will be back though. Unfortunately,
I listened to the Mayo episode. And I wasn't like, oh my God, this is terrible the way other people were. I thought he's asking too many fan type questions, I guess, because it's shit the listeners are.
Mike, he's been waiting for that for 5 years. He's been writing those questions down. He's had them in his head, running through his head ever since it goes down.
He's a top 3 third chair. Top 3.
But that's the thing you got to worry about with Mayo is it's the sophomore slump coming because he did have 5 years to prepare for that third chair appearance. Now, what does he have? Sometimes when you got to write your second album, it's you got nothing in the chamber. Yeah.
That's a good one. We were all thinking the first episode was his masterpiece. Could he do it again?
Yeah. Can he do it again? What do you guys think about Cullinane's idea to kind of have an audition for the third chair on the network? I kind of like how random it is and how little you know about the person when they go in there, and then Kirk's just like, what's your story? And they're like, oh, I'm from New Hampshire and I'm a big fan. I kind of like how abrupt it is.
I do like that, but I do like the idea of someone going on there for the audition being so terrible that he gets selected. Then you kind of have an idea of who they are before they walk in. So I get what you're saying. It's kind of just blindly being thrown into the lines then, but I think that's a great idea for a show. And I think they did like a speed dating thing where it was him and 3 other people on a fucking StreamYard, 6 minutes, just firing off quick questions. I think that's a good idea for Cole.
Yeah, but the problem is then they get all their shit out during the show, and they have nothing to go on the show. Like if you do that,
That's why I said
No,
6 minutes.
Well,
That's why I said 6 minutes.
I think a few more people listen to the podcast than, no offense, Menners, than this network. So I feel like it's not going to spoil too much. I think
For now.
Yeah.
For now.
I know now Menners has his hands on it, so it'll explode.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
Love having.
No,
my hands
I think
on
that's
it.
a good. I think it's a good idea just to get a peek into Cullinane's process. I think that'd be interesting.
Also,
Yes.
as if Cullinane's going to be able to unpick someone with the skill that Kirk can do it. But I also think like it is nerve-wracking going in there. So if Cull can do a show beforehand and kind of just relax them a bit, maybe they've never been on a podcast before, because Kirk's not going to change. Like he makes the people, if they're nervous, he makes them 10 times more nervous when he comes in there and Kirk says, oh my God, I can't believe I'm sitting next to this guy. And then all of a sudden, poor Mark on Friday, like he was already
like that.
picking his pants. I think he took a dump in his pants when Kirk shat on him in the first
That-
minute.
I like when the third chair guy is like super friendly because it's just I don't know, those guys are my favorite with Kirk, the super friendly guys, because it just never goes well. But he did a good job of just powering through, just fighting fire with kindness.
He did not seem two-phased from
Yeah,
the last
not at
video
all.
early on. He powered through it. And
I
thought he was
think
pretty
Rob might be the perfect guy to ask this, because I was asking Cullinane this the other day. I might have said it on the show. If you're a guy who's listened to Kirk forever, and you know his personality, you know what the show is like, you've heard about
Yeah.
how he just kind of walks in, walks out. What is it in you that says I'm gonna get up and give him a handshake, or I'm gonna say, hey, how's it going, buddy? What's happening? You know, like
Fuck
what would
that.
make you think it's the right move?
Nothing. I
Nothing.
sat there right beside Mutt the whole fucking time and waited to be spoken to. That's why I said I'll sit there and wait. You know, don't speak until spoken to. That's usually a good rule. on that
You think that, and you know that, but as soon as human instinct and you see someone walking down the hall is to acknowledge them. So you can have the plan, but then human instinct kicks in. I get it completely.
I think
when I was in the first time, I said, "How's it going?" And I didn't think anything of it. Everyone, I guess, around me was fucking smirking. And the first 6 minutes, they were asking everybody, "Oh, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going?" Mocking me. It's a fucking normal human
Yeah.
interaction. He's completely off the hook in my.
No, but you've been in there so much that now when you get in there, it's like you guys
here
got
we
a
go.
secret
Yeah,
hand.
yeah,
You got
yeah.
a secret
Dog
handshake.
trainer
You know,
VD.
Kirk says, "Hey, Mike,
VD.
how's it going?"
Guy's got a hobby for a job. Okay, yeah.
How many lines of Adderall did you do before your last appearance, Mike? Because you were
No,
charged.
see, you made that lazy joke. No, I woke up. I didn't do any lines. I ate it. Okay, and I did a half an Adderall, as I told you. Okay,
Yeah.
so you did a little cocaine joke. Not funny. Didn't laugh. But no, we had a late night. We were out till like 2. But I woke up, did a half an Adderall, drank about 8 waters, one in there, then drove home.
My dream
then-
is for you one night to just get hammered and go in.
Yeah,
there.
I've
Like,
heard.
Stay somewhere nearby, just go in half cut and just let's get full Montante's world on the main show. You know, the racism, the sexism,
Oh,
all that
yeah.
stuff. Let's
The
get it all.
racism.
Xenophobia,
Exactly.
transphobia. All
Montante,
of
is
it.
any of that stuff in your head when you're out the night before drinking? Like, are you worried about being hungover in the studio or still being drunk or anything like that?
I have been worried about being hungover in 14 years. It's kind of a lifestyle at this point. You just kind of just power through it.
Yeah.
But I do. Get
I
my
mean, I just
racist-
even mean being like off your game as far as like seeming hungover. Or
no.
This guy's a natural, Mike. I mean, this
Yeah.
guy could
It is
roll
what
out
it
of
is.
bed. This
I'm
guy could
telling
roll
you,
out of bed.
it's at the point where if I take 2 days off, I'll still wake up the third day like with a kind of like a little headache. It's just like kind of just a mindset at this point. So it is what it is.
what a pro.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
So if that's what you want to call it.
It's not like
Appreciate it.
it's not like he's playing game 7 here. He's sitting in a chair, fucking speaking words out of his mouth. You know.
Well,
It's-
okay, I thought I could do that, and I proved that I couldn't. You know, so
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I've had my moment too. Yeah. Where it's
Yeah.
just
Montante,
coming
yeah, but
out.
also Montante's like 25 years old. He's like the oldest 25-year-old on the fucking
Appreciate
planet.
it. 31, but
Yeah,
that is,
Rob's sitting there high as a kite with a fucking basketball thing behind him. He can talk. Jesus. I mean, Kirk said the worst third chair was Bree. Do you guys agree? Or can you
Yeah,
think of
she was
anyone
terrible,
worse?
man. I know Montante and Menners. I know you guys love her. I've had this discussion with both of you individually multiple times. She was awful. Awful.
I don't even know if terrible is the right word. She was on the wrong. She was on a show she knew nothing about.
he
It
walked
seemed
into
like
the
she
wrong
didn't know what she
studio.
was walking into.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like she had no interest in being there, really. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what show would suit her. I don't know enough about what she does, but it seemed like she didn't have like a ton of interest in being on that show.
I think what's the show Justin likes, like College Girls Exploited or whatever. That might be the right show for her. That might be the right show for her.
I think she's too old for that now, VD. I think she's a little too old.
Montante, how do you develop relationships with these people? Bree Hunter and Jeff Nadeau, and how do you become buddies with all these?
He's a magnet. He's a fucking magnet.
Nadeau is natural. Nadeau is natural. He put out one of the worst tweets of all time during the Euros. A guy legitimately like died on the field, and he literally tweeted out afterwards, like, because I guess he wasn't watching it. I see so-and-so is hurt. Now's a great time to take the other team. And everyone just piled on him like, you're a fucking sack of shit. So he came on that day and like explained the tweet. And then after that, we exchanged numbers. I don't get how the Bree thing started, to be honest with you. I think I just asked her to come on because
I think I got an idea. I think I got an idea.
On the
He
show,
probably thought you were hot and reached out to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. You know, you're right. That was the genesis of it. But you know, I'm a nice guy, and I like Bree. I don't think the trans jokes are funny, especially in June, nonetheless. But you know, it is what it is. Whatever floats Kirk's boat. You know, no big deal.
To the other three of
Mike. Just there's a comment up here, and Pat from Amesbury's doing a wonderful job in the comments. And as you're visually impaired, I'll read it out. But someone just said, Randall, you're doing it much better at this hosting job on Mike and the Minifans. So obviously, Blind Mike Project and all those hours with Craig improved. Look at that. The crowd.
I got my 10,000 hours in Manners. You know, I've really come a long way.
Working with Craig brought the best out of you.
That's for sure. What were we just talking? I had something to ask Montante.
Yeah, Manners kind of killed the flow of the show right there.
I'm glad this guy
comments for a reason.
Oh, I wanted the three of you, other than Montante, your opinions on this, because I'm with Kirk, obviously, and I think Dave was kind of on the same side. That I find it. I would be so uncomfortable just going to like a random fan's house and staying the night. Just in general, a human being I've never met, I couldn't do that. Do you guys agree, or do you see what Montante is doing?
A lot of my friends, even when I was in college and lived in Miami, were people I met through the internet. So I'm probably more on Montante's side. However, he has a black belt in it. You know, I would maybe dabble in it, but he is he's basically just like a swinger. He just will sleep anywhere.
Yeah.
I do it. I mean, honestly, like some of these people I meet one time at this live show, and I'm ready to be the godfather of their children. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like, especially in this weird, like little community, it's like normal kind of almost, you know?
I do get developing like a friendship with them of some kind, but just to go over to their house without ever having met them, and sleeping over there, you're in such a vulnerable state sleeping on their couch.
For a little
more
context
want that though. We want to take advantage of
a little more. For a little more context, I've been in a gambling chat with this kid for 3 years, and I've seen him at multiple KMS shows. So it wasn't just a random schmo. No, don't bring Robinson's rules into this. No. For a
bring Robinson's rules into this. I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I think of it this way. Imagine.
I won't answer. It's all right, Mike.
With the instinct.
That's his show, Manners.
Well, he did say he asked all three of us and then didn't let me answer.
I'm sorry, Manners.
Change his mind.
Go ahead.
I mean, I think with Montante, I mean, you've got to understand he's got this crippling debt to pay his mother's tax back. So, you know, paying for a hotel is out of the question. So he's got to take what he's given.
There's something to that.
I mean,
yeah,
absolutely. Difference, like the different Minifans. Obviously, Jay, you'd get a disease. Nipples and his missus, you'd get more than you bargained for if you stayed there for sure. You'd be doing something or watching something So, but I think, I wouldn't do it.
Like Montante goes there hoping to get roofied and raped. Like that's his deal.
It's true.
True.
I'm begging people. As I put my drink down, I put my hand over my eyes, hoping something bad happens. No one ever takes me up on it.
But I'm not even saying danger. I'm saying like a fan of the show, I would assume, and rightfully so, that their instinct would be to fuck with you for the good of the show.
Yeah.
You know, take a picture of him while he's sleeping, whatever it would be. I would think they have the worst intentions in a good way. You know what I mean?
It's hard to make fun of a guy like Montante, though. He has no shame. Like, he's the type of guy that'll just walk in your house, immediately take a huge shit, like, you know, kick. He's at home. He's comfortable being uncomfortable. So there's nothing you could really do to make him uncomfortable.
And I feel like a lot of the Minifans are like that too. Like a lot of we're just all big fucking weirdos that like kind of like being like weirdos. So it's like,
I'm with Mike though. I would be completely paranoid about it, and wouldn't be surprised if I'm asleep and all of a sudden there's cameras everywhere, and yeah, absolutely. I'm with Mike on that. There's some sickos out there, definitely.
Oh, Menners, you would definitely get fucked with if you slept at someone's house.
Yeah,
you
Tim
would
Ridgell,
definitely get fucked.
blackout drunk, would get in bed with me. I mean, it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
How's the chat looking, Menners? I've ignored it so far. Anything we should know?
The chat's doing really well. So we've got lots of listener questions I want to get to. Obviously, Pat from Amesbury, host of the 420 show, has been doing the comments. He's been doing a job, and he's going to be bringing the 420 show to the network soon. Shout out to Pat. Question for you, Mike, before we get into the listener questions. Has Kirk's sort of new stage of like being Mr. Barstool surprised you?
No, I think he's always kind of done, like, even, I mean, the Willie Colon thing happened because he went there and did a bunch of shows. You know what I mean? Like, I think from day one he was kind of like, whatever you guys need me to do or want me to do, I'm happy to do it. It seems to me like he likes being there, which from afar I saw how it was at Entercom. Seemed like for me it was a miserable place to work, and I was the lowest ranking employee there. So I think coming from a place like that, he's happy to do whatever. And I think content comes out of it also because, I meant to ask this earlier in the show, but he tweeted something to the effect of friends become enemies and enemies become friends in North Carolina. I don't know what that's alluding to yet.
It's got to be Rappaport. It's got to be Rappaport.
Content's going to come out of it, I assume. Yeah, I was thinking Rappaport and Riggs probably, but...
The trivia is almost the perfect vehicle to like help the integration of Kirk in the Barstool, because it kind of puts him against all these other people in an environment that he enjoys. Without the trivia, I don't know if we're in this same position.
Right. Yeah. And it's a natural, like if they're just arguing about something, they could be like, oh, the ego on this guy. But when he's literally getting every question right over you, there's no context where you can, it's literally, you can't say he's wrong because he's beating you in trivia,
I got to say, there's probably, maybe all year, I would have gotten like 3 questions right. Even if I got to choose the niches, like I just have no brain for trivia. It is like watching like a savant or something. Like he's definitely got some kind of, what kind of autism does he have, Mike, that he's able to, Montante, that he's able to do that?
He's got
You're
an
expert.
Advanced batch.
A good strain of autism.
One hell, an elite strain. No,
it's also a strain that means he chokes in the big moments in trivia, because if it wasn't for Rico, it'd be fucking.
Stop! He was
Brandon with that trophy, and the T-shirt would be the other way around.
He had the most points in the game, didn't he?
He missed like one. He missed one question.
No, but it was the big question. It was the question that would have decided the game. So
VD, not only is it like the trivia stuff, like you say with the brain, but like being able to do it in that live audience, like that's like a whole nother level of that shit. Because like, I mean, anybody can did the 99 and fucking do it, but like being in front of all those people screaming and shit. And still,
I got news for you. Kirk doesn't win either of those matches if he's in Boston with a pro KMS crowd. He plays 10 times better with the people hating him.
Oh, you think so?
1,000%.
He adapted to it very quickly, and I think I probably said this on the show too. But the one thing I didn't expect, maybe because I'm in this world and not the Barstool world, but like I didn't expect him to be the villain the way he went. The noise level of the boos surprised me. I didn't realize what a villain he would be or what a heel.
I don't think he expected it that much either, but really I think he embraced it pretty quickly. It's fun being a villain. He's a good villain. He's a great villain.
Do you guys like that he does more Barstool stuff, or want him to do more? Or don't like that he does it as much?
Of course, that's how I came across Kirk in the first place. Was him doing the role there at the Super Bowl.
Right. What about you, Rob, as a EEI guy?
No, I love like when he interacts with like Jersey Jerry and stuff, because it's such opposite ends of like, I don't want to say intelligence levels, but it's just like that kind of is. But it
you
makes
can,
like when Montante goes in.
Yeah, it makes for
there
great.
And
I love how you can tell he really like has a relationship with Dan, like with Big Cat and like Kevin and all those top guys.
Right.
And then when he goes with the Jersey Jerrys and the Ricos and stuff, it's awesome too. So
Kevin's gone away. It's become much more Big
Cat.
I think early on it was a lot of Kevin, and now it's much
I
more
was gonna say KFC's floated away more than anybody else. He's floated away completely. He had the most promise probably a year and a half ago to be a big part of the KMS world, and he's kind of just outside of that 8-minute podcast they did. He's done nothing with Kirk.
But did you
Yeah.
hear when Kirk went on with him KFC not that long ago when he was in
Yeah.
New York
Watched
or
it on
whatever?
TikTok. The whole thing.
It was like they are too similar really to do content together. Like KFC, he needs to be the
agree,
host.
Nick.
He needs to be the one. To be like when me and Kirk do stuff together, and that's
Oh,
why I think like they're probably not suited.
it.
But it is very. It is
The way
very
he says it,
weird.
like so, like
Yeah.
He said it so casually, I didn't even notice it at first.
Oh, yeah,
He
it's,
had
it's
it,
not
yeah.
good. It's not
Yeah.
great. No.
But it is weird that Big Cat is kind of ashamed of Kirk. Like he keeps him at arm's distance because he knows he's a bit toxic. Like he won't. Like he should have been on Part of My Take by now to talk about something.
It
to
is
promote
funny that he
KMS.
hasn't been
Like
on that. It is-
Between either
that is
promoting the
surprising.
case or some form of golf stuff, I'm surprised Big Cat hasn't had him on for something like that.
Like fights
They've
must
had
hate him
a
or the
Dungeons
other
and
guy.
Dragons guy on 5 times. You could find a spot for Kirk if you really wanted to.
Right. Yeah, that I do agree with that, but I guess Dan's just. Here's the thing: is like I was about to say something ridiculous because I was about to say Dan's such a safe guy that he worries about it, but like when you hear Kirk on with Dan, it's not like, oh my god, how is Big Cat going to get away with this?
Yeah.
It's not like it's anything that
Yeah.
controversial, you know.
Yeah.
I guess maybe Dan doesn't know what a liberal Kirk is now, and if he knew that, maybe he'd get
He'd
him
be
on.
on.
Sure, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you heard of the
Good
Mulvaney
point.
take?
Polar would be on before fucking Kirk.
Oh, Polar is so sensitive about his sister. That was very revealing. Very, very revealing.
Yeah, I don't know who mentioned it. Maybe Conan or something said maybe it's just a bit. I don't think so at all. I think
No,
that felt
yeah.
very real. That if it's a bit, he's a much better actor than the business has given him credit for because it was seamless. Where he's just very subtle, like well, Parks and Rec, who gives a fuck? Anyways, back to the Swedish show.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. It's a tough spot. I mean,
I like Polar though. I think he's very funny on the show.
I like him too. I thought it did. The last few appearances like took a little bit of a turn but I like how Kirk like gives him shit and is able to kind of like call that stuff out. A lot of people are just would probably
Turn in what
tweet
way? Because
that.
I thought he's been progressively better.
I think I'd say he's been the best third chair.
You think so?
I thought
Better
it
than
went
Mutt?
downhill a little bit his first
Mutt
few appearances.
Mutt sneaky stinks. Mutt sneaky stinks.
No, he doesn't.
No,
all right,
Mutt's
that's
good.
That's why I said
Figure him out.
sneaky because you guys it snuck
He's
up
not
on you.
See, Montante kind of sees himself on the same level as
Exactly.
Mutt,
Oh,
so
here we
there's
go.
a little
Here
bit
we
of that.
Gambling guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
Alcoholic
There we go.
gamblers.
What
This-
do you
this
like
ten-
about him, Montante?
There we go. No, when
What
Mutt
don't you
goes
like
in
about
there,
Mutt?
he has much more of a guard up, and he doesn't really let everything fully in. By the way, let everything fully in. You're unemployed. You have nothing to
Yeah,
lose.
like
let
Cheeks
anything
did, like
fully
you
in.
did with your mum. I think Mutt's pretty smart.
Well, there's a difference between doing what Cheeks did and what he does right now.
Montante,
Oh.
he doesn't let you in. He let you into his kid's fucking lacrosse fundraiser. For the
Yeah,
city.
for
And look what
fucking
happened.
profit.
You
For
want.
profit, God forbid, he call his kid chubby. He fucking turns. We're like, take a joke. No,
Well, that's an old EEI bit. I mean, that's one for the.
well, learn to
original
laugh at
Minifans.
it then, Mutt.
I do think unemployed people do have things to lose as well. I wouldn't say he has
We sure
nothing
do.
to
What?
lose. Yeah.
Government coming in.
Right, VD.
What's he
Like
worried
if
about?
if he fully thinks he's never going to work for like another network again, then he'll go all in. But you're right, because he does have something to lose. Because if he goes on there and says something he doesn't want to say, then like someone could come back at him and not hire him because of it. And he's got to be
Yeah.
thinking that. Back
He's
This
not
all
gonna get
boils-
He's not going to get into politics or anything. What's he going to say? It's going to be make him unhireable his next venture.
I don't.
This all boils down to Mutt big timing Montante to go on Montante's world. That's a little bit where this.
Yeah, no, there's
Anger
something
comes from
to
the
that. There's
fandom.
something to that.
He big
Yeah.
time in a fandom.
Did I
so
know
he's
this?
a
He's big time both of you guys?
Yep, absolutely.
yeah.
He won't even
Yeah.
reply. He's worse than Julie, like way worse than Julie.
We call her
That's-
Jules.
That's a little odd that he won't even
call her
reply to you guys.
I know,
Yeah.
very odd. Very, very odd.
Julie's got a
Because-
better rack and more talent. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, I'm a sporter. Like I'm a hardcore sporter like him. We'd have a lot in common. I don't know why he won't come on.
Then I assume I know your guys' answers, but do you agree with Kirk's assessment that he's right around the corner from turning his back on the Minifans?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
that's under the assumption that he gets a full-time job in the industry. No, I think he'll be with the Minifans for a while.
Okay.
I don't. Once he gets
You
a
don't,
job.
Rob.
No, fuck
Yeah,
no.
he-
Once
he'll
he
see
gets
the
a job,
Minifans at Dunkin' Donuts when he's like handing their
he'll be
coffee over
gone.
to them.
He'll be gone. He'll be fucking preaching tires out of there.
I don't know.
top three-
Oh, sorry, Meadows. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say. So it seems like our top three third chairs from this discussion? Mutt, Polar, and our fat friend in the corner, Montante.
No.
Well, the rest of us like Jules, but
Yes,
you don't.
That's what I'm saying. From this conversation,
Yeah.
Julie's third.
She could be fourth
Yeah.
or fifth last.
And I agree with.
I think
agree
Menners is the right top three, though, probably.
Yeah.
I like Julie
Yeah.
on the show. There hasn't really been a bad episode because I think the bad people have been funny. I will. You know what? The one thing of any third chair that's ever bothered me, and I didn't see this until today, is I believe that acronym guy has changed his name to Mike, quote, acronym guy McGonagall or whatever his name.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on that. Yeah.
What's wrong with
Like,
that?
you know, you guys probably know me as both. So
Yeah. You guys
I'm an
might have
acronym
heard of me.
guy. I'm an acronym guy. He's part of the network. He's doing a show.
I'm
Fully
sure he's a very
support
nice
him.
guy.
He
Very
could
nice
yap,
guy.
man. We got lunch and he would not
Oh.
shut the fuck up.
What about
He
the
could
show
talk.
we did with him? Fuck.
Oh my god, he's still going somewhere. Yeah, he's a nice guy though, but yeah, I can see. I don't think anyone has really had a show where you turn it off because it's unlistenable. Even the ones who've been
Well,
terrible.
I mean, it's Kirk's show. You can make
Bree
it.
Hunter.
Yeah,
Bree
you could do,
Hunter
you
was
could do
good.
a show alone if you wanted to. You know.
You know who I liked is the guy that's kind of like Clemmer, that's like obsessed with fire trucks. That
Mike
autistic
Cologne.
guy.
Mike Cologne.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like
yeah.
that guy.
Oh yeah,
I like
I
that
forgot
guy.
about him. Yeah.
Good strain of autism. Good strain.
Great strain, and he
Yeah.
fits a quota. So
And
he's
actually,
great.
Yeah.
speaking of that, he is a panelist. He will be a panelist on Mike and the Minifans. I have recruited
Yeah.
him. So
I
you
like
can
him.
see
I like him.
more of Mike Cologne.
Are you
all right,
gonna
let's
keep
get into
calling
the
it Mike and the Minifans?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that in my
absolutely.
honor?
Basically, I mean,
Wow.
it's such a strong.
Basically.
I'm touched.
I mean, I've asked Rob to change his name to Mike. He's just undecided yet.
Sure. I'll do
but,
whatever
you know, it's an homage to the great brand you've built up, Mike. Of
I will say it's really more of a slap in the
Pounds.
face. Justin, who I think did this show for like a year after I left.
Yes.
I think it wasn't
Yeah.
Justin the Minifans after I left.
Yes, he did.
It was for a week. All right, let's get into the listener questions because I've got a stack of them. Also, Pat, if you want to ask a question, put it in the chat, and Pat will put it up on screen when I've done the ones written down here. So, first question for you, Mike, from Ted Sarandis, who said on Twitter that he wanted someone from the band to be euthanized. So I'm out on Ted. But anyway, this is the question. Any chance of a crossover between Blind Mike Project and the new KMS network?
Meaning what?
Take
anytime
your
you
stuff
want.
off behind a paywall, put it up there for free.
All my stuff?
Yeah.
What would you say? Would you say, you know, like if you wanted to say
What's the
increase
incentive?
if you wanted to say increase, you know, you've got 700 subscribers. There's 7,000 subscribers to this YouTube channel. Maybe you wanted to do a Blind Mike special on this network to maybe promote the Patreon.
I could do something like that, like a "Why You Laughing" episode or something. I could do
No,
a
no.
KMS "Why You Laughing."
Menners is really just trying to sell you ad space on the network. So if you want to buy
It'll cost.
advertising
It'll
for the
cost.
page, yeah.
Venmo me.
I've got a very lucrative offer for you.
Yes. Next question. This is for everybody. I'll direct this to you, VD. Can the network be truly revitalized without Red?
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
All
How are
right.
things going between you and Red?
Good answer. Good answer.
I have Red doesn't, he doesn't like me. I don't really like him. I don't have any hatred towards him anymore.
Oh, is that
but
why
I-
that show won't get back together? You guys don't like
Yeah,
each
they
other?
hate each other,
they-
Mike.
they- no, they all hate me.
other.
They all hate me. I'm like Bin Laden, but I can be a hateable guy
You've
sometimes.
got the
So
beard.
Yes. True.
I offered a reunion of the KMS rundown, and I think it was declined. But I'm too dangerous for those guys. I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea I was having such a bad boy on. Folks, I wasn't drawing lines. I didn't know. All right? I'm sorry. Leave me alone.
Next question. This is for you as well, VD, about your
Ooh.
old show, The Big Dog Show. Do the Big Dogs exclusively focus on sexual assault, or will they delve into other deviant and criminal activities? As we know, Wagon was a panelist on your former show.
No, there's all sorts. There's drugs. There's
Yep.
child abuse. There's sexual assault. There's hate crimes. Pretty much the whole gamut. Big Dog Show is in hibernation. Maybe it'll come back one day.
It's welcome.
But yeah,
on
I
the
don't think
network.
those guys don't like me either. Anyway, I've been ostracized by everybody, so I'm here.
Wow.
Next question, last one from Ted.
Yeah.
This is to me, apology for the attempted Shattuck show. Well, no apology, Ted. My philosophy around the network is it's not my network. I'm just the director. I'm here to serve. I'm not a gatekeeper. If people want to do a show, I will make it happen. And it's up to the big guy, Kirk. If he's not comfortable with it, then he makes the final decision there. You know, I asked recently, Kirk, if Smugsy was allowed on the network because I know he's had issues with her in the past. Smugsy's not banned. So, Peter, you can jerk off as much as you want.
Yeah.
If you sat someone down who speaks the English language and said, watch this 10-minute clip and tell me what happened afterwards and play that any of her videos, they would be speechless.
I love it.
He has the most you get weirdly turned on, then you're confused by minute 3. I don't get her existence. Let her on the network.
She's got me in a pretzel. I can't tell if I know it's a bit, but it's
it's not. No, it's not.
It's like a bit where someone just uses it being a bit as an excuse to like live how they truly want to live.
Know.
You know, like a little Jim Norton thing going on.
So welcome back to the
Montante, did you meet her? Did you meet her in Portland? She was.
I saw her walking around with a mint coat.
Yeah.
I said,
that's her. That's the Smugsy.
Taking pictures of people.
Once you meet her and look her in the face, that voice isn't going to do fucking much for you.
I'm completely lost. I just know that VD compared Smugsy to Jim Norton, which is really bugging me.
Yeah, she's lost in the bit.
Other than that, I have no idea what we're talking. Menners, I wanted to ask you this. Did you find it odd that because you brought up Shattuck and Mr. and Mrs. Shattuck, isn't it odd that they pitched a different show than they pitched Big Cat?
Well, be careful here because Montante.
Then it's at least a show reference if they do it on YouTube.
Montante loves the Shattuck, so be careful here.
Tread carefully here.
I'm just asking questions.
Tread carefully, blind boy.
I mean, that pitch was wild, but no, I'm not surprised. I mean, I actually thought, a food show once a month would be something different for the network, but
at least I'm saying if they did, what was it called?
Butter halves. Who can
Better halves.
Butter halves.
Butterhead.
It was called Butter Halves?
Yes.
That was the cooking show.
It was a play on the
Oh, all right. At least they did that then. Okay. All right. I'll give them that.
Next question. This is from Mr. 175. This is to you, Mike. Why do you wheeze every time Kirk opens his mouth?
I know. People hate my laugh. I'm telling it. My only defense is it's genuine. I'm not fake laughing. I find him to be a funny man, but I know people don't care for my laugh.
I like it, Mike. So you keep laughing.
Thank you, buddy.
No, that was sweet. That was sweet.
Wow.
Michael Mazzarotti. Will Danny from Wolfboro ever stop calling in? Definitely top 3 worst caller. So I don't know Danny's calls that much.
I don't know who that is either.
I know his calls. I don't know them to be historically bad or good.
Blind Mike, this is not a shot at you, although you went at the Shattuck, so maybe it is. The guy who calls in, hello. What did you eat? That is that call stinks.
The guy's just
how come
the guy's just lonely.
I think
He's
it's
just
lonely.
lonely.
I thought it was Tim Ridgels.
No.
The voice sounded familiar, and I could never pinpoint it. Maybe that wouldn't shock me if it was him.
I'll tell you what, Kirk made a big mistake the other day, accusing a caller of being Jay that wasn't, because he has just been texting me rent free. I'm rent free in Kirk's head, like, devil emoji. Yeah, you got to be careful with when you mention Jay.
Is JJ the hottest caller right now by a country mile?
For sure, because no one can wrap their mind around him.
I like
hey man.
I like the Rappaport caller. He's funny. Yeah. He's legitimately funny. He's legitimately funny.
I actually once, Mike, tried one of your dinners. You said, I think you had a buffalo chicken sub. Okay. I was like, I've never had that before. I'll try that. So
really
it worked.
That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah. See, guys, it's adding value to society.
Exactly. Menners, are you going to bring back?
I didn't get it from Dominic's, but anyway, go on.
Are you going to bring back Cooking with Big Steve? Maybe a one-off. That was a great classic show on the network.
Yeah, he's always welcome on the network. As I said, I'm not a gatekeeper. This is not my personal opinions on people.
That's like a scene. That's a scene in a great movie. Is Steve having to go to Menner's to ask for a film? Well. Well.
Look what we have here. All right, next question. This is for you. This is from BDE, Box Eating Dad, BED. Is Blind Mike too big for VGS now that Mike Harris has left? I don't know any of these people, but Mike.
Physically,
lawyer.
no, based on the size of the other gentleman. No, I'm not. I'll do VGS if Craig wants me to. Yes.
Okay.
I think
Oh,
we
wow.
are going.
I'd rather,
technically-
Menarez, I'd rather do one of your programs.
Fantastic.
I think we are
Always welcome.
technically going head to head with VGS right now. So
Yeah.
that lets you know. That lets you
Wow.
know.
Why the
what-
view- why the
yeah,
viewership's
little,
down.
Shows
Ratings
off, shows
war.
off.
Don't
Ratings
worry,
war.
Blind Mike, you referenced this the other day on the show. Did he really bring up my relationship with my mother on one of your
Montante,
programs?
and this probably happens to you all the time when Pat Cooper is mentioned.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Pat Cooper's relationship with his mom, and it's this fascinating moment because Howard Stern is having Pat Cooper's entire family call in and berate this man, and I'm about to speak, and Craig interrupts me and goes, just like Montante, right? It took my breath away. I didn't know. I was like,
That's so
I had to
bizarre.
think about what the reference was for a second.
Craig.
That's fucking bizarre. Man.
The disgusted like
That's five
sigh
more
Mike gives sometimes after Craig speaks, and it's like way off topic. Is I live for that. Just like.
It's the same
What
side
are
At
you
least
of
talking
someone's
about?
getting
same
enjoyment out
side
of
of
it.
the turkey holiday sometimes. He just moves on, do
Yeah.
different stuff. He's
Yeah.
like, all right,
You
what
need
else?
someone else on Why Are You Laughing with you, Mike. You need
No, I
someone
love
that
Craig.
does preparation. Craig can do the recording, but you need someone that actually.
Well,
gives a
Craig
fuck.
likes to tell me that he purposely doesn't listen to the clips, which
Yeah.
is
And
always
you can hear it.
show prep.
That's good. Plausible deniability.
Listen, you want Craig fresh. You don't want the canned Craig
Yes.
response.
Well,
I
listen,
can't wait for his
ask-
genuine
It's not a
reaction
reaction
about
show.
Richard
It's
Lewis.
not a reaction show. It's a history podcast. Like,
Ask
you need
Jerry. Ask
facts
Jerry.
and figures.
The solution can always be worse than the main guy. Trust me.
True.
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 All right, next question. Stacey's from Madawaska's phone. Over or under 2.5 weeks until I get in trouble and lose access to the network?
God willing, under.
I will
On-
say
yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
the vacation schedule. So Kirk's away this week, and then you got the 4th of July. So it
True.
might skew the numbers here, but I would
True.
go under.
I'm gonna go
Under?
over.
Fuck you. What would I do to get
I don't know.
lose
That's the
access?
fun of the program, Menners. I don't
Menners.
know.
Let's find
Manners,
out.
you do have a history of like maybe when you get a little bit of power, maybe abusing it a little bit. I think it's fair to say you have a history of that
turned into
behavior.
Such an annoying cocksucker since you got the network back, Manners.
Why?
You,
What are you
you're
talking
just
about?
annoying. You're a different guy. You're a different
What
guy.
are you I'm happy. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm happy. Finally,
I'll go
after
back to being
3
miserable because I
years
can't
of
stand you the last
campaigning,
2 weeks.
And you don't want me to be happy. You want me to be
No.
miserable and
Yeah.
bitter.
Correct.
Thank you.
You know what? I
Thank
like
you.
that
That's
answer. I like the new Menners. I like happy
I'm
Menners.
happy.
You carry yourself with like an unearned arrogance. You're just such a
Oh,
little.
and I never
dickhead
had
when
that
you-
before.
I was
No,
gonna say,
not
no,
as much. It was a little more tame.
since the minute I met him, I don't. There's no difference.
I'm a Manners
Yeah.
guy, but the network is too much.
I'm gonna judge my opinion off of episode 1 of Menners Live, how that goes, the reboot. That's where I'm gonna withhold my
What's the rest
judgment.
what's the rest of the staff going to be on that? Who's going to be helping you out?
So John from Scranton's the producer, and
Christ.
call screener.
Jesus.
Danny from Bill Rick is the comment guy. And that's all you need. So and that show will be taking calls. I said once a month on Minifan issues. And Mike alluded to the holiday schedule, and there'll be some time off for KMS, which is going to time perfectly.
Like you don't talk like
'cause
an
I'm
asshole,
expecting
Madawaska Rob. Stop it.
shows to be submitted over the next week, several shows to be submitted. So there'll be some holiday content while Kirk takes a well-earned break from his tiring schedule.
I
Do
can't
you
wait
feel
for
like
all
he
this.
stepped up. You were critical of Menners taking over the network. Has he stepped up recently?
I mean, it took him a minute to
tough
get the
ask.
gears going. Yeah,
It's
I
a bunch of
agree.
people
He's-
predicting
he's
shows
going
that they're never,
straight
actually, they're never going to follow through with. Like right now, there's like 18 shows on paper, and in a month it'll be 2 people doing the same shows. It's,
Okay,
it's
so-
a tough ask.
Menners, let me ask you a question. You're gonna do a "Where Are They Now" show, right?
Mhm.
You know where all these people are? Exactly the fuck where they were 2 years ago.
yeah.
I don't understand.
Well,
Like, guess what? Stephen Glover?
I listen to the show every
Go
day.
driving.
Sometimes I go back and listen to old episodes. I liked it better when Steve was on.
yeah.
Yeah. That's tough.
Fuck you, Rob. What idea have you come up with? And you're shitting on acronyms, guy. Show. Don't listen. Like, all this network stuff. People like don't watch. Don't
I'm just
listen.
giving you a hint. I'm just giving you a clue. They're exactly where they were before.
funny.
Exactly where they were.
Well, we'll
All right,
find
great.
out.
Great. We'll find out. Now, the question is from Danny and Bill Ricker. Please rank the viability of each of the new shows on the network. Which ones will have banked the most episodes by 2024 and captured the highest views? So we've got Mike and the Minifans. That's going to go on strong. We've got Where Are They Now? The Acronym Guy show. That's a once-a-month show. And
That's a one episode and
Yeah, I
done.
don't see much confidence in this.
That's
I
a
reckon
one
it-
and done.
I reckon he'll do 10 plus. I reckon we'll get one a
No
month. for
way.
the
You're
next
out of your
year.
fucking mind.
I am
Well, like-
mentoring these guys behind the scenes.
By the way,
I'm building
you-
a sustainable network.
There
Menace,
aren't
you
a lot
know
of people
that,
would give a shit about. MHB would be a good one.
No, I got news for you. And
Yeah.
this, I don't mean to speak out of school here. This is the exact idea. I got a call when he was out of work from Tim and Canton, one of our many calls, and he had this exact verbatim idea for a show. And then he was like, "Yeah, who am I missing?" I was like, "Dude, you're the one with a fucking notebook worth of show notes. Don't ask me anything. You're the one who should know this." So I don't know if when we had lunch that day, if they conversed and Acronym Guy took the ball from there, or if it's just a coincidence. But there's no way he's doing 10 of those. 0%.
Tim's going through rehab for a severe stroke, so I think you should just be very kind.
This is way off
That's not
topic,
his
but
real name. I didn't like that.
I wanted to mention it earlier. It just came to my mind though.
I'm in the middle of something.
I gotta have Mick, Beyond Average Mick, in the studio. I gotta hear what the hell's been going on with this guy. He disappeared after episode 2 of the Vegas show. A week ago he came back.
Oh,
and he
that was
announced,
so bizarre.
He announced, "I'm doing a show on Thursday to talk about everything that's
Get your
been going
questions
on."
No, but
then
he put it up. No, this is the thing. A show went up on the network. It was 8 minutes of Mick. I'll listen to that
Bullshit.
a bit later. I went back.
No
it was
way.
gone. 100%. 100%.
VD,
Wow.
do you remember we were like, "Oh, there's no way he has the balls to put up another 8-minute show after being
Yeah.
gone for a year," right? He did. He had the balls.
Wow.
Took
See,
it down.
I'm more interested in what has happened to Mick than I am about, like, you could tell me all the secrets about the Vegas shooting. I want to know more about where the hell this kid has been.
Well, I can tell you what happened. I mean, Mick got sick of the show after 2 episodes. No one was listening, so he went dark to save the shame, I think would be the answer. Right, other shows on the network. The 420 show, they're going to be bringing
Well,
probably
Mike
a show
checked out 30 seconds ago, by the way. So it's
couple
gonna
of
be...
months.
Well,
Yeah.
no, that's
Let me just report it.
no. I'm curious where Mick is. Also, I hope he's doing all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next show,
Thank
Jamie's the Aussie Jamie's Golf Picks reaction show. I'm a bit worried about the viability of that. I think we'll probably get one of those twice a month. We've got Pappy's Kitchen with Sneakers. Again, dubious about how many we'll get, but I think we'll get 1 or 2 a month of that. And that's
Is
the
that
aim.
going to be? What's the status of Sneakers since he was in studio? Is he a reformed man now?
Absolutely. Sneakers is one of the great Minifans. I never thought I'd say that.
I think one of my
Truly-
favorite calls in the history of the show, just because of the context, is when that yellow shirt guy was in, and Sneakers calls in and is like, "Kirk, you don't want any put. This guy's a bad apple."
Yeah.
Hey, Skittles.
Sneakers
Great
just
bar
wanted
guy.
a bit of love. Sneakers
the
just
best.
wanted to be embraced, and now that he's been embraced, I think we're going to get the best out of him.
Okay, we'll see.
So that's that. Pappy's Kitchen's kind of a different wrap-up show. It's going to be from a unique point of view. We've got Mena's Live. We've got Cull's show where he's vetting people, and finally we've got Quantum Kirk. Now this is with Dava from Hull, Danny and Bill Ricker, and actually Billboard chart guy might be joining that squad.
Oh, I like
think
that.
I think that's the show with the least chance of success because you've got Dava who quits every show after 1 or 2 episodes. So he'll either quit or some C division quarterback will want to do a show with him. So he'll quit. Danny and Bill Rick is having his second child in a couple of weeks. There's no way his wife is going to be like,
what?
"Oh, yeah, just leave me with the 2 kids. I'm going to go and record Quantum Kirk where I listen to an episode for 2 hours and react
I think
to
you're
it."
dead wrong on this. I think this is the show that has the most legs.
Me too. I'm with
What's the
Montante.
show? What's the concept?
So,
So
they're gonna
they-
listen. They're
they
gonna
do an
listen to
old
like the
episode and
original.
review it.
They're gonna listen. I'm gonna try. to
Not
speak
everybody
over
at
Menace here.
once.
I'm gonna dominate Menace here.
I want to hear you all say it.
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no.
tell you
I'll
who's
say.
I
I'll
like
say.
best.
I'm gonna
Say,
dominate
Mike.
Great.
from across the
1,
pond.
2,
No,
3.
no, no. So
It's a
what
show
Mike-
where
what
they.
he's gonna do a recap show of like the original shows that were like 5 hours long with him, Daniel Barrica, and Billboard Charts guy. I think it has legs. I think this will be the longest.
They just listen
going
to
on
a
the
random
network.
old show. It'll
That's
be
all.
that's. There's so much material to that.
Okay.
You could do that
And-
so easily.
Did you say it's gonna be 5 hours long?
No,
No,
the
they're gonna
original
listen
shows are
to the
listening to
show.
5 hours.
Oh,
and then they're
okay.
going to
Gotcha.
review it. I think it's a great idea. I just have little faith that those.
Oh, I think it's a
two
very
will
good
be able
idea.
to
I don't see why that wouldn't
regularly
last.
produce an episode. I'd like to be wrong, and I fully support them, but that's probably the one with the least chance.
Shane should produce that for them because he does all.
Oh
the
yeah, they should combine forces.
yeah,
All right, next question. Beige
Now we're
Cora.
networking.
yeah.
Over or under
That's the thing
9.5.
Manners does when he's very dismissive. He goes, and
I
he
could
moves
tell.
on.
I could
It's
tell how
not
much
the
you-
fucking. It's very good.
Over or under kids you molested this month. Don't like that one.
Well, you can answer.
Mike, do you miss BA as your original comment guy?
You're avoiding the last question, which I find uncomfortable.
Bizarrely.
Sure. I mean, yes, in the sense that I haven't been able to replace him.
Fair.
Kirky Walnut's the biggest drip Minifan. I actually sat with him at the first Wilbur show. He
I
gave
like
me a
that
free
guy.
ticket,
I like him.
right?
What's wrong with him?
Oh,
Yeah, he's a good guy.
His question: thoughts on the Russian military coup? Thanks for your sense of humor. What a fucking live
I
wire.
like it. I think it's a good question.
What are your thoughts, Mike?
Montante, the floor is yours.
Please let me know. I want to know Montante's thoughts on this, please.
We don't have enough time.
All right, next question. Boomer in Haverhill. Has Biodude been cooking at a survivalist camp
my
with no
God.
working oven all week? There's a real strong Biodude movement in the wings to get him on the
Okay.
network.
Can I tell you? You asked me earlier why I'm in a better place. It's because I don't know what that sentence means.
You know what?
You're missing out, actually. Believe it or not.
It's a visual thing. It's a he's been putting up some bizarre barbecue pictures, but
Are you familiar with BioDude?
I don't think so.
He's now
Would I
going
know
on
him by
Twitter.
another name.
He's now going as like fungi guy.
Okay.
he's very friendly gentleman.
I've said in the past, I think he'd be a great third guest. He has very gay like mannerisms, the way he speaks, but he's very interesting at the same time.
But he has sex with
Not those
women.
Those two.
Whoa.
Does he?
Yeah.
It's more of a sitcom than a podcast.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But he's very interesting. He put out these videos of him grilling, and it looks. He had like fucking like dino nuggets the other day. It looks terrible.
I think they look good.
He had that frozen cheeseburger on the top shelf. It's going to take like 7 hours to cook. Like it's literally a frozen cheeseburger.
Yeah,
Listen.
fungi guy.
He's a good.
You
guy.
guys are just all.
He did a show with Sig, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, they did. It
Yes.
was terrible.
Yes, it was so bad.
All right, next question. Dr. Joe Viper MD. How small is Mena's penis? Well, I can say it wasn't very small when I saw that photo of Lauren earlier today. I can say that.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He was rock
Tape
hard,
that-
folks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Come on,
Semen on the
Goldie.
ankles. Come on the
Yep,
ankles.
there we
Yeah.
go.
Menas, why are you so scared of Visionless Dave? Well, I'm not. He's on the show. And actually, BD and I, we've
We have a
met
great relationship.
Yeah, we even have each other's phone number. He's on the Montante level.
Well, he's on the show per my request. Let's not forget.
That's true. That's true. I got the rare phone call from Menners, and he's like, "Listen, Blind Mike's putting out the bat signal."
You're never
and
gonna
I said,
believe it.
I said Monday, I'm there.
Sitting down?
I'm there. Yeah.
Yeah, me- and that-
you sitting down.
Yeah, the tweet from Mena is like, Mike has requested Montante and Visionless Dave. Madawaska Rob will also be there. And then today on the show, Mike, you're like, I'm with Montante, Menners, VD, and someone else. I don't know.
Who could even think of? Yeah, certainly not a guy I've met before.
I haven't seen you been taking notes, Rob, about Mike's hosting, but I hope you're soaking it all in.
Hey, Menners, pen, paper, right here, buddy.
Good. Next question, Woke Stool. When will Carano be back? Well, any
Hopefully
sort of-
never.
No time soon.
Fucking never.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's be honest, though. I think that the biggest smash hit on the network would be if Rome came back. And I'm not even joking. I loved Rome.
Well,
I
at
liked-
least one listener. I would be.
Yeah. I liked
I'd be
hearing people talk about Rome. I didn't ever actually listen. I just liked hearing like Mike and Kirk talk about it.
It was
So-
one of those
That's-
things.
that's
I'd be
fair.
driving to work listening to it, and it was so captivating, so batshit, but I had no
Yes.
one to talk about it with because no one would engage me with it. I thought it was a great podcast. Great. Elite.
But, how do you mean great?
Because I didn't want to stop listening.
Okay,
I would ignore it.
Sure.
I would,
yes.
When people would call me, I would ignore it because I didn't want to miss it.
Yeah, I was bummed out when it ended.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Just when you thought it was getting stale, he'd like introduce a new song or a new twist. The episode that actually broke my brain was when he did. It was like a lecture at like a college thing. There was like echo in the background, and I couldn't tell if it was legitimately like actually happening or it was like a metaphor
He
of
added
like
that noise.
I don't know. I reached
Yeah.
out to him. And I go, "Are you crazy enough to like make it seem like you're at college?" He's like, "I don't know, maybe." And I was like, "Okay, all right, I'm in. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere."
Yeah, I don't know. I know Kirk mentioned on the show like something about Carano recently, where I think the Clemmer
Mhm.
stuff has
He's welcoming
softened him
back.
on Carano a little bit, but
He's
I don't
back.
think he'll be back anytime soon.
I don't think he wants to be back.
Which might be the right move. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
else,
next
Manners?
question. All right.
All right,
Now,
Manners,
Patty.
we wrapping this
We'll
thing up or
wait-
what?
Yeah,
Wake
yeah.
up, wake up, wake up.
I'm awake. Patty, have you got any questions
No.
from the chat for us?
Yeah, question for Blind Mike. Would you accept an invitation from Clemmer to appear on the Double Play podcast? Would you need Kirk's permission first?
What's the Double Play podcast?
Him
I think
and
it's
Brandon
Brandon.
Walker.
The Brandon Walker one.
Oh.
No, I can't imagine I would unless he wanted like no, I wouldn't just do a movie podcast with him and not talk about all the shit that's happened in the last year, you know. That'd be just too weird.
Does Montante save money by not having the lights on in his house?
Oh, got a good chuckle out of BD there, huh? As he sits in his fucking car. Next question.
Oh, that was good.
Nice
The
one.
answer is yes.
Well, I think we'll wrap this up, Mike. Farewell, right off into the sunset. You know, best of luck with the Quincy show. Why are you
Stop calling it
laughing? Blind Mike Project. You will be remembered fondly on this show always. We will keep
Thank
the
you so
memory alive.
The baton has
appreciate
been
that.
passed.
The baton is yours, Menners. Do with it as you wish. I trust you, and do your best not to soil my good name and what I've built here on Mike and the Minifans.
Yes. We will. We'll look after the brand. We'll do our best. It's in capable hands. Thanks everybody for watching. The network's back. This is the first of many shows coming up. As I said, some shows will be submitted. I'm hoping this week. So keep your eye out. But I know 4th of July week. I think the main show's off.
Keep
so
your eye out.
hoping
I don't think that's how that's said. Keep your eye out.
keep your eyes out.
Keep an eye out. Okay.
Keep an eye out.
Thank you.
You say keep your eye. Oh, whatever.
When Montante corrects your English language,
Yeah, that's when you know
are in
you're fucked.
trouble.
That was
a-
nitpicking. I'll defend Menners there. That was a little.
Right.
That was a little much. It was over the line, Montante.
Oh, whatever. I stand by it.
All
Thank you,
right,
boys.
everyone. Thanks everybody for watching and listening, and enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you.